How's it going? My name's John. I'm a software engineer with about 10 years of experience. Let's ship some features. Today I'd like to add a blog to Laterally. Laterally 3, open source repository. I'd like to add the blog so that when we release major features, I can note those on the blog and accumulate SEO and traffic, search engine traffic. So that's a motivation for doing this early. There are some related issues. So this is blog issue number 27. One related issue is the initial blog article, 28. I think I'm going to start with the community bounty. Let me know in the chat if you would like me to blog a different feature of the system. But I think that's one feature of Laterally that's not very well understood, the community bounty. By the way, here is the production site, laterally.io, and you can contribute to the community bounty for as little as $1 per month. And if that number gets large enough, no ads for anyone, even the free users on the site. So you can help carry the team. Okay, the other thing that would be related here would be Google Analytics. So because the goal of the blog is to accumulate website traffic and search engine optimization, setting up Google Analytics beforehand technically would allow me to measure the discontinuous jump in traffic. In practice, I don't think there's going to be a discontinuous jump in traffic. That's just my intuition. I could be totally wrong. But I think that the main driver of traffic to the website currently, because it's still pretty young, is just the streams, and that it will take some time. I think the blog's going to have to be up for a while for organic SEO to make a difference. So I'll do this if it's easy, but I'm not going to stress about it. Basically, we're going to time box that to maybe 20 minutes. On the other hand, setting up Google Analytics is pretty easy, so we can probably do it in 20 minutes. And I would like this blog to be written in Markdown, because I think the Markdown syntax is really easy. It's richer than plain text. I would like to take advantage of things like titles, plain text, links, boldness, maybe block quotes. But I don't need the complexity of HTML, and I don't need all of those features from HTML. So we're going to stick with Markdown because the syntax is pretty simple. So let's give it a whirl. The idea here, I can implement this by hand if I want to, but I want to give the GPT code interpreter a whirl. And so I have created a prompt here, and I'll show you how to attach a zip file of my code base, which code interpreter can basically read. And we're going to see if it's going to be able to simply just attach the Markdown blog. We'll see. So I told GPT that we are expert TypeScript developers, role casting GPT and myself. This allows it to understand that it can communicate with me in more technical language. It doesn't think that I'm an average person. It thinks I'm a developer. It can be more precise. It can be terser, and that preserves token context memory and saves us time, frankly. Context, we're working on a Blitz.js application. I just gave it some context about the project here. So here we are in VS Code. This is, again, the Laterally 3 project. Sometimes I refer to it as Laterally, so I tried to include that in the context to GPT. Sometimes I just call it Laterally, but technically this is Laterally-3 if we want to go by the Blitz.js project name, which will also be the folder name. And then I also gave it for context, anytime we're assigned a task, we should always ask clarifying questions before writing code if the requirement isn't clear. And then I'm going to assign GPT a task. So this is basically a glorified role task. I extract the context to its own section. I think in large part that's for my own ability to communicate. It makes me communicate to GPT, know that there's any research indicating this improves performance, but I see that it helps me write better. And so the task that I'm asking GPT to do is add a Markdown-based blog feature to this repository. I'm not telling it the route. I'm not telling it the folder path. It should be able to determine those things because I've told it that it's a Blitz.js application in TypeScript. I'm expecting GPT to be able to determine that this is a Next.js application. So it should use the pages directory and it should add a blog directory under the pages directory. By missing certain things like that, I take a bit of a gamble. Sometimes GPT is sensitive to this omitted information, and I shoot myself in the foot sometimes. So we'll give it a test, and if it fails, I'll be more explicit. That's the downside of the gamble. The upside of the gamble is that I give GPT the opportunity to improve my confidence in it, that it knows what it's doing, because if it does detect the thing that I expect it to detect, we're aligned, we're tracking, I have more confidence that the code it produces will be correct. Does that make sense? So this is actually a test-driven development mindset where I'm having an assertion in mind and I'm running the unit test, if that makes sense. I'm testing GPT. Jan says, no MDX. We might be using MDX. So I used the English language at a markdown-based blog feature. We are in a Blitz.js TypeScript repository. If you combine those, MDX is technically a good intersection. And so MDX is entirely on the table. We will see whether or not the code compiler suggests that approach, but I would be happy if that's the route it went. Okay. This is looking good. So how do we get the code to GPT? I'm on the main branch here. I'm going to click code. I'm going to download a zip. Okay. Laterally 3 main parentheses 1. So I guess I got a copy of the main branch in the past. So this one, you click that little plus button. The plus button is only going to show if you're in the code interpreter. If you're not seeing the plus button, double check that you are using the code interpreter with GPT-4. You're not using plugins. You're not using the default. You're not using 3.5. And it should attach it like so. And let's send it. Let's see what happens. Poppy Sensei, what it do? We're shipping features, my boy. We're shipping features. Throw a like on the video. Thank you for being here. Zeke, thank you for sharing the video. All right, we have a bunch of people showing up. Quick reminder, y'all, if you're on TikTok, you can go to YouTube. The link is in my bio and see the full screen. You can also sign up for Laterally. This is the website that we're working on today. It doesn't have a blog, but hopefully it will within a couple hours. Everyone gets free access to the standard checklist. And then for as little as $1 a month, you can access the advanced checklist. Please do consider giving to the site. The thing costs me money right now. I would love for it to pay for itself. Is GPT-4 worth it? I think so. It's gonna depend on the value of your time. But basically, like, it's $20 a month. So you would have to have a very small value on your time or very little utilization of the tool to not justify $20 a month. I think for most people that do any knowledge work, it's a great investment. How is your product better than everyone else's? First of all, it's not. I'm not saying that my product is better than everyone else's. But like, who are you comparing me to? Like, here's something. So the best course that I'm aware of is the Meta Front-End Developer Kit. Why is my course better than this? My course is not better than this. My course is a wrapper around this. So you would complete this course, and then I would give you some additional steps that will increase your placement rate from 25% to north of 50%. So I wouldn't say that I'm better than this. Honestly, I wouldn't say that I'm better than a lot of products. I would just say there aren't really any products that compete with me that I'm aware of. Your competitors. Yeah, who are my competitors? I'm not sure who they are. Actually, that I don't have any competitors. Slay, I like the energy. Thank you so much. First to market. We love to see it. Is GPT-4 worth it more than Copilot? That is extremely difficult to say. I would say use both, and I do use both. I don't have research to say yes or no on that. I would say, depending on what you're doing, you might want different. Yeah, it depends on what you're doing. So there's for slightly different tasks, right? If you don't use an IDE, Copilot's not going to help you very much. If you want to be in your IDE all the time, then GPT-4 is a bit of an inconvenience, isn't it? But for tasks where you're on the browser anyway, GPT-4 is way better. Also, Copilot doesn't even work in that context. So it depends on the tasks that you're doing. I think that one I have a confident answer. All right, cool. How much is Copilot? I think it's also like 20 bucks a month, right? Y'all can Google this stuff. Monthly $6 a month. I don't know if this article is correct. Yeah. This one's actually from GitHub and it says 10 bucks a month. Okay, cool. Let's start by extracting and examining the contents of the, okay, so it did a good job of that. Laterally contains the following directories. Did it find the pages directory? Source, it found pages, good. So it should be aware that we're in this context. It knows that we're working with VS Code. Add a new blogs directory inside of source pages. Remember, I told you that is what I was testing the system to see if it would suggest, and it has done so. So this is right on track. And it's created a step-by-step plan. Great. I will say great plan, great design. Proceed to add the blogs directory. Okay. Before creating a .md file, discuss the pros and cons of MD versus MDX. I really don't think I want MDX support right now. So I would like my blog to be statically printable. I know that sounds sort of goofy, but I'm going for search engine optimization here. And client-side rendering with React is hard for search engines to understand. So I want to have static. I could have statically renderable React components on the blog in principle, like assuming that there are the right plugins on the market that are going to be SSG supporting and so forth. But I'm just wondering, like, what component would I be using? Like the whole Yagni idea, you ain't going to need it. Specifically, what problem am I solving with MDX support at this time is not clear to me. Bruh says, is your platform just for front end? The answer is no. I strongly recommend full stack, but I do recommend. Maestro, hey man, is it worth it to start learning Six Sigma? I don't know. Depends on your career path, right? If you're trying to be a programmer, it's not a good use of your time, I don't think. But for some professions, they have certifications. Please don't quiz me on it. I think maybe business analyst. I think maybe they have some good business analyst stuff. I haven't looked into it in a while. But if you're talking about programming, it's not worth it. Is there object-oriented programming learning help? The answer is no. Interview questions, yes. Also, by the way, in an interview, I would avoid object-oriented programming in like a leak code interview setting. That's going to be extremely verbose and time-consuming. Like Java interviews are the worst, and I've done them, and I've passed them. But it's way more painful than using Python or JavaScript for your interview. John says, hi, what's up, John? Thoughts on combining MIS degree with informatics degree? My thought is just like, why? Like, why would you, the point? Is it going to graduate you quicker? I don't really see a point unless it's going to save you time or money or effort. Like, once you get a job, no one really cares about your particular field. They just sort of, here's the point that I would make is that once you have a year of experience, people don't care so much about the field of your degree. If they care at all, they just want to know whether it's related to computer science or not. And either of those would already be related. So it doesn't really matter. Okay, great design. Please add the blogs directory and the initial blog article. Bruh, thanks for the follow. Hey, quick reminder, y'all, if you go over to YouTube, you can see the full screen. And shout out to y'all for dropping the likes. We're over 1,000 likes already, and we've barely gotten started. I love to see it. So a degree in IT and computing is just as good. No, that's not what I said. It, so a computer science degree is going to be more helpful than a degree in IT and computing for your first role. However, after you land your first role and obtain a year of experience, the benefit is basically like vast majority of the benefit is gone. So they're not just as good. It's going to make a difference for your first job, but it really won't make a noticeable difference for your second job and definitely not for the third job. I think Google's own data indicates that the field of the degree is insignificant 3 years out from graduation. You can fact check me. That's Google's own data. So there is a difference. It's not just as good. But my question would be, is it saving you time, effort, or money? And if it's not saving you any of those things, then like, why is it worth changing? John says, I get LinkedIn is so good, but I want to quietly without advertising myself. Is Indeed okay? I mean, yeah, Indeed is okay. I understand the question there. Is there anyone out there that's saying like, don't use Indeed? Bruh says, your major will really depend what skills you want to get out of college. Yeah, kind of. I mean, I think it influences the skills you want to be perceived as having, which is not quite the same as the skills that you get. But I don't want to go splitting hairs. Anyway, Sanjay, hello from LinkedIn. Good to see you here. John says, people saying always use LinkedIn. Well, yeah, LinkedIn is great, and you should use LinkedIn. But if you specifically don't want to use LinkedIn, then yeah, I think Indeed is probably your next best choice. But please don't. So earlier you asked if Indeed is okay. The answer is yes, but note the fact that because it's okay does not mean it's just as good as LinkedIn. The job search performance is going to be decidedly less efficient if you cross LinkedIn off the list. But you can do it. Okay, so has been successfully created. The next step involved creating a dynamic page to display the content of each post. Create a dynamics. Please let me know if you need further assistance. No, homie, you are the one creating the page. Using a library like Remark or Markdown IT. Well, pick then. Please let me know. What does it mean, finished work? This is all it did? Oh, dude. It is the laziest programmer. Haha, that's great. I'm actually impressed at how lazy it is. Look, it just wrote. So it's telling me to run this Python script on my computer to get the result that I want. I mean, it's not wrong. It's just I want it to do more. Continue by creating the dynamic page. And the index page. Bundle the results into a zip file for me to download. In the current environment, we are unable to execute the code required to develop the React components. Oh, so it's only Python, huh? GPT-4 is quiet quitting confirmed. Yeah, that's pretty funny, right? When are the jobs coming back? The answer is January. Maybe some before then, but like, I mean, the jobs are already kind of coming back. Okay, so they're really going to come back in January, but they're starting to come back now. We can look at this just dropped today. This just dropped today, y'all. Throw a like on the video because I'm sharing stuff that's like super current and you would. 2023 mid-year compensation report from levels.fyi. 5% increase in median total compensation. So salaries are starting to go back up. This is not like a huge number, but they're starting to go back up. This correlates with job count. Okay, so you need to recognize that statistics are complicated. Statistical relationships are complicated. A 5% increase in median total compensation does not mean that there are 5% more jobs, but those numbers are correlated. So what this means is the labor market is starting to recover right now already. It's going to get a lot better in January, but it's already starting to get better now. What is happening with Amazon HQ2 between all of the layoffs and phase 2 delays? Will they hire more? Amazon is definitely going to hire more. I don't know exactly when. I don't currently work at Amazon. I don't know if you saw a video from like back when I was working at Amazon. Also, if I was still working there, I wouldn't be able to give you like insider information anyway. But they are going to start hiring at some point. And I think next year. And then there's a question mark around whether they will do it even sooner. Okay, so we have the slug. Love to see that. Cool. So pretty much it's giving me the answer. So I don't need to like split hairs about the fact. Oh, what? It let me download it. I'm so confused. We are unable to execute code required to develop. However, and let you download it. Oh, okay. It's literally just telling me that it's unable to run the NPM. That's okay. I'm not going to hold it against you, Mr. Jippity. I forgive you, Mr. Jippity, that you could not run npm install on my computer. Also, I would be terrified if it could like hijack my computer to run npmi. I'd be like, what's going on? I just got hacked. Careful what you say to GPT-4. He will hack you. I've spoke to a couple engineers at a meetup, and they say they don't use ChatGPT. Yeah, definitely. I mean, some do, some don't, right? Here's the crazy thing about engineers. They do different things from one another. It's not like all engineers do the same thing. I don't even understand really where that mindset comes from. Sometimes I talk to people, and they will say things like, you know, like there's like one right way to like code something. Maybe. That's like pretty rare. Usually there's a lot of different ways to do the same thing. Audrey, what's up? Mr. Jippity, forgive it for its trespasses. Exactly, yep. Sean says, what you making? We making a blog, my boy. So here I have my downloads folder. I have a new folder, and I will say unzipped. This is just I'm using pzip. This is like boomer tech, whatever. Don't hate me. This is how I have to unzip the zip file that the code compiler provided. So to give a better answer to the question, what are we working on? Latterly.io. Latterly.io. And the link is in the bio. And this is a website that will help you learn to code. You can sign up for free and access the checklist that will show you how to get a programming job. Then for as little as $1 a month, you can get an advanced checklist. Audrey says, I think we lost John's sound. Let me know if it's still gone. I'll try to fix it if it's still gone. The audio is still on YouTube, though, so maybe you should go over to YouTube. By the way, if you go to YouTube, you'll be able to see the full screen. Bruss is not gone for me. Thanks for letting me know. That's actually super helpful. I appreciate you. Okay, so I have this unzipped that GPT-4 code compiler gave me, and then I have my actual repo. Let me open up that and get ready for the sick the sick code hack that we're about to do called drag and drop. Are you ready for this? Control A, click and drag, babes. We're clicking and we're dragging. Coding is so weird now because, like, where's the code in your code? We're going to replace the destination files. Ethan, do you have a pinned video that explains the ins and outs of Latterly.io? Oh, my guy, that is such a good question. No, I don't. I mean, so how do you know the ins and outs of Latterly? There's two ways to know it. First of all, you just go look at the checklist. Like, this is it. This is basically the whole thing. So that's the first thing that you can do. And then the second thing that you can do is you can look at this curriculum file. And if you're wanting the details, it's here. So it's not a video, but these are all the details. Like, yeah. So when you say ins and outs, like how much detail you want, because this is the whole open source curriculum. You can go read it. David Harris, how's it going? I see you got your live access. Hey, David, I have had live access for a while. Yeah. I don't have the desktop stream key though. I don't know if that's what you're referring to. So I'm just streaming out of my phone, which is a bummer. But if you go over to YouTube, you can see the full screen because I'm streaming from OBS to YouTube. All right, let's get back into coding world. So the transfer completed. Now I can see all of my Tortoise Git red diffs. Also, I can come over here to my IDE and check the source control panel, hit the refresh button, and I should be able to see all the diffs. Here we go. David says, that's what I was referring to, my bad. Oh, no sweat. Okay, yeah, I still, that makes sense. If you know how to get one, let me know. I reached out to a bunch of like influencer agencies, and none of them got back to me. I mean, I got some autoresponder emails, but like it hasn't. NOS Live, I've been coding all day. 90% has been talking to ChatGPT. Sometimes it'd be like that. All right, we got to go through these bad boys one by one. I'm noticing no changes. So I think a bunch of these are line ending changes. One thing I could do, I don't want to do this, but one thing I could do is literally just ask ChatGPT to alter the line endings because I'm on a Windows system. I'm almost tempted to do that because it's asking me I have to look through 126 file diffs. So yeah, let's go ahead. We'll do two things at the same time. Alter the line endings because I am on a Windows machine and I don't want extraneous Git file diff notifications. Let's see if it can handle that. Oh, look, working these days, right? Isn't that a quote? That's like a meme, right? Maestro, do you think find gives good results? No, at least not the last time I used it. The problem when people ask about these AI tools is that they get updates like every week, right? But the last time that I used find, it was like absolute garbage. It was like such a waste of time. So anyway, take that for what it's worth, but it might be better now. I don't know. So let's drop all of these. We are discarding changes on these 14. Only 112 more to go. I don't need, look, it better not have altered any of these. I'm just going to go ahead and eagerly drop these. Even if it did make a change to one of these, I don't want it. Like, do not touch my migration files, homie. Ethan says, I think that's a Kim Kardashian quote. Okay, yeah, that's who it was. Bitches just don't want to work these days. David says, I use TikTok Live Studio. I don't get many views when using it. I get more from phone. Oh, that's crazy. Well, thanks for the feedback. Good to know. Vitest config. Why would it be changing any of this? These are all just got to be like just extraneous line diffs. Maybe the schema has a real change. If there's like a blog article schema thing, I'm not seeing it. All right, so I'm grabbing all of these and dropping these as well. Discard, discard. Pop, pop, pop. Discard, discard. Gang, 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 gang. That's also a quote, right? I think I'm memeing. Am I memeing right, or am I just... I'm on my second Celsius today, y'all. I'll be honest. Dot, what's up, what's up? Hey, fix your username, unless you just want me to call you Dot. Thanks for being here, though. Updated Windows. Look, it's giving me the file names I love. No spaces. Hit me with the dashes, my boy. Everything lowercase. That may not mean much to y'all, but it means everything. Okay, so I need to go through here. Here we are, unzipped. Folder's empty, cool. Click, Control A, click, drag. Nathan, RMF System 32. Oh, dude, that is such a good tip. If I did that, all of these, all the file diffs go away if I do that, right? Great tip. Memeing right about right, haha, as an older Gen Z. Thanks, bruh. Damien, I'm on my second energy drink too. It's the vibes. David Harris, what are you making? I'm trying to add a blog feature to the Latterly website. So here's the Latterly website. It's in production. You can go sign up now. Okay? You can sign up completely free, and then you can get advanced features for as little as $1 a month. I highly encourage everyone to do that. So there's something called the community bounty, where basically if the community as a whole is subscribing enough, then I can disable ads for the site. I would love to do that. Currently, the site costs me money. So, also, I do one-on-one consultations. It's usually like $100 a session. But this month, if you do as little as $1, a one-on-one session. Do you run your site on a server you own? No, I don't. This is hosted on Vercel. And the database is on Supabase. Thanks for being here, y'all. Okay, so what I would like to do now is drop over these new files and see if this clears my line diff. Control A, Control C. Open up the two files, twinning them. We're going to drag this over, boop, drop it. Oh no, there's conflicts. Replace them. Okay. %. Why does it always get to like 99% and then it like takes a long time to finish? Do you think getting a PhD helped with getting a higher TC? Yeah, definitely. Now, I'm not recommending everyone go get a PhD, but the idea that it didn't help me, like it definitely did help me. So I don't know if it was I'm not sure it was a good return on investment, but it did create return. Does that make sense? Okay, and look, the file diff went up. So that was counterproductive. Bummer. At least I can click all the way into here and discard the changes. Is it doing anything with the site web manifest? Let me ask while I'm working, what else can we do to improve SEO on our site? Can you add Google Analytics? There's also, I have an issue for JSON. There was like, Google was saying that I should add something to my site, and I was like, I don't know what this is. What's your favorite laptop to use for coding? My M2 Mac is wild. Seller.json. Seller.json. Can you add Google Analytics? Should we create a, what is it called? A sitemap? Should we add a seller.json file? Anything else? Harris, thanks for sharing the live. Improve web performance. Create quality content. Okay. I'll just go create quality now. A robot TXT file. Interesting. If you're running ads on your website and you want to participate, you should consider adding a seller.json. I haven't started the ads yet, but I'd like to, unless the bounty gets picked. Did you see a bigger boost in TC after your PhD than changing companies about every year? No, it was not like that. The big boost in TC is when I got good at LeetCode. That's it. You go tier 1 to tier 2. That's how you see money. It's simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. And I think that's a lot of the confusion is the recipe is so simple that people think that it's easy. It's actually really hard to get good at LeetCode. It's actually really hard, but it's not complicated. You just have to grind freaking LeetCode. It's much harder to, yeah, Ethan says just LeetCode. It's much harder to break into tech. So I help people land their first programming role, including people like myself who have a background outside of computer science. It's much harder to get your first programming role than it is to advance after that. Once you have the first one, assuming you don't get fired, right? Once you have the first one, and if you leave on good terms, your progression is like cake from there. That's been my experience and the repeated experience of many people that I know. There are exceptions, but that's the general approach. Okay. So it's like telling me how to do things, but I want it to do the work. I'm already using semantic HTML. Thanks, though. Meta tags, I'm already doing that. We're already doing this. Create a sitemap for the app. Twan says, my problem is actually gang. So that's why you should check out my bio and sign up for latterly.io. The important skills you get for corporate roles is learned on the job. That's why moving up is easier than breaking in, I think. No, it's not about skill. Sorry, I hate to break it to you. Employers, it's not about the skills that you have. It's about your perceived value to employers. And so are you in school still? That like employers value your skills. And the problem is that employers cannot directly measure your skills. They have to indirectly measure your skills. So it's like having skills by itself. If we're talking about hard skills, the ability to program actually has a value of 0. Let that one sink in, homie. If you can code, it actually has a value of 0. You always need to combine your hard skills with soft skills. Namely, you need to be able to communicate the fact that you can code. You need to be able to persuade in an interview context your interviewer that you're able to code. Coding alone isn't going to do it. If you have interviewed with anyone, if they give you a LeetCode problem, a behavioral question, anything, and if you try to answer it and you don't speak, your interview is not going to go well. You might get a fluke where the person is just so, like you just crank out a threesome without even talking and you just write it down. You might get somebody who's kind of impressed and passes you just because they're kind of like creeped out and freaked out and impressed. But that's like not how to do it. Start at LeetCode, F learning. It doesn't matter how to know about OOP concepts, moreover, how to apply them. There's truth in there. There's truth in there. Now, here's the thing. LeetCode is going to help you mainly for tier 1, right? But most jobs are not tier 1 jobs. That's another thing that people miss out on. We do care about learning React and learning JavaScript and building a portfolio and building real apps. Those are really useful for tier 2 employers who actually care about real projects. User 984, I'm a new grad 2 months in. I feel like I don't know anything and I haven't had luck in landing a job or even getting an interview. Hey, user 984, here's the first step. Update your PFP and your username. I can't refer you if you look like Anon. Hopefully your LinkedIn looks better than your TikTok, right? And that sounds like a joke, but it's not. Your whole social media, your whole online presence can be used to get you a job. You can use all of it. So another mistake that I see people making is, well, first of all, they don't grow their LinkedIn connections. So they have like 20 LinkedIn connections, and they actually don't network with people. And then if they do network with people, they're only like sending LinkedIn connection requests. there's a lot of other ways to connect with people. You can go to meetups, you can get on Twitter, you can get up here on TikTok, you can come out to the Discord, go contribute to an actual GitHub project. One of the best ways to land a job is you start contributing to a GitHub project, and then they're just like, whoa, this like dude is like actually helping us. Let's hire him. Bruh says, I got the role through a diversity thing, so I didn't have to do leak code. That's pretty cool. All right, let's get back to some coding. In your Next.js config, here I am, Control C. There's going to be a lot of module exports, so that's not going to help me. I'm going to Control P instead. Next config. Control P, next config. JS, we're going to laterally. Here it is. And I got no sitemap here. So this says with Blitz. The problem is it wants me to nuke my existing config, which is not going to fly. So I need to combine it. Maybe it's just the config object itself. Update my next.config.js so that it's compatible with the current code instead of replacing the current code. All right, this code up here can't execute Node or TypeScript. That's fine, dude. I'm not mad about that. What is this file? Oh, okay, this is generating the sitemap. That looks good. Where do I put this? Create a serverless function over here. That's great. So my sitemap is going to be a serverless function. I would like this to be statically rendered. Let's see. It's just doing the whole thing now, right? We ended up with 2 config objects. It's checking its own work. That's kind of crazy. It includes the redirection from here to here. Laterally teaches DSA. Laterally teaches you how to learn DSA, yes. So here, let me show you. You go to the standard checklist. All right, 23 patterns article. So one of the items on the checklist, I've been following the 5 to 23 patterns article for at least 2 weeks. This is how I recommend you learn DSA. What is the 5 to 23 patterns article? Rike, keep up the good work. Thanks for being here, Rike. This is my recommended approach to learning LeetCode. It's this article. So I wrote this article, and you can check it out. It's all free, y'all. I recommend this over the blind 85. I recommend this over neat code. This is the way to do it, y'all. I could get off on a rabbit trail of any of this stuff. Do you want to start with 14 patterns or do you want to start with 5 patterns? Just think about it. What's the easier starting point? So I recommend 5 to 23 over 14. So 5 is a better starting point. 23 is more comprehensive. Any way you slice it, why are you still trying to use 14 patterns in the blind 85? Do you know how old the blind 85 is? It's so old, dude. So yeah, there's like step-by-step instructions for DSA. What is LeetCode? Oh man. Hey chat, can you all help him out? This is gonna, it's just a website basically, but it's a website that teaches you how to do algorithm style interview questions that are used by tier 1 companies. So this is LeetCode, and this is go do 2sum. This is like the kind of like the easiest problem. Let's not be mean though. Let's help each other out. No, actually try to help. Actually try to explain what is LeetCode, please. People got to start somewhere, yo. I just don't really necessarily have time right now. But hey, Twan, you can join the Discord and I'll talk to you after the stream. But I'm trying to code some stuff right now. So what's going on? So what's going on is, in theory, it fixed my my sitemap. Let me ask it, will this generate a static sitemap? Or will it be dynamically generated, potentially causing problems for bot viewers, like the Google bot? Russell, thanks for the follow. Twan says, I just want to learn basic Python. Yeah, I don't really recommend that you learn Python on LeetCode. LeetCode is kind of where you go once you already know how Python works, and then you want to sharpen your interview question practice, basically. Okay, the current approach will dynamically generate the sitemap each time. This means, however, because it's dynamically generated, it could potentially put an additional load on your server if accessed frequently. Rather than, yeah, this is kind of what I'm expecting over here. This would be similar to the serverless function, but you will write the sitemap to a file in the public directory. You could run this script as part of your build process. Yep. Proceed to create a sitemap build script that is run as part of the current or pre-build step in package.json. Poppy, does anyone else hear him echoing? Oh man, let me know. Hopefully not. Let me know. Quick reminder, y'all, if you go over to YouTube, you can see the full screen. Link is in my bio for YouTube, by the way. William says, I want to learn code. I heard Python was the first one to learn. Where can I learn it for free? So I recommend that you learn React, not Python. Python, you're not going to be a full stack Python developer. So you're going to miss out on the majority of software engineering jobs. That being said, let me answer your question, because you said, where can you learn Python for free? You could go to Free Code Camp. You could go to Codecademy. Keep in mind, you get what you pay for. If you go to Codecademy, they're going to have free and paid options. If you stick only with the free options, the quality is lower. Papata, no echo here. Thanks, Papata. Learn Python the hard way is actually pretty good, to be honest with you. Python and React are totally different things, man. Whoa, thanks for informing me. I've been coding for 10 years. I thought they were the same thing. Wow, when I said that Python won't allow you to access full stack developer jobs, that statement is totally consistent with the fact that they're identical things, isn't it? Learn a language first and learn it well. Don't dive into a framework like React too quick. Yeah, so when I say learn React, that does not mean start with React. Actually, you cannot start with React. You're not going to be able to do React without understanding HTML, CSS, and JavaScript first. You should learn React, though, for two reasons. First of all, this will substantially improve your job search performance. In addition, React is language agnostic, because I would like you to start with JavaScript and I would not like you to stop with JavaScript. You should continue on to TypeScript. So by referring to React, which is a library that supports both JavaScript and TypeScript, I can encourage you to learn all of the above. To generate a static sitemap, you can create a node script. All right, and let's proceed with that. So here's the new bundle. Let me go through what I have right now. Well, it's still telling me to install Remark. So I believe it has retained all of the goods. So let's try this. Twan says, I'm confused. Hey, Twan, that's why there's a checklist, to make it easy and simple. Just go sign up at laterally.io, and there's a checklist step by step. You don't need to understand everything going on in the stream. Just take it one step at a time. Don't get overwhelmed. Gunawan, thanks for the follow. Okay, I'll do it when I get home. Thanks, man. Thanks for being here. So which language do you recommend to learn first for software engineering backend? I don't recommend that you become a backend engineer. I think I said that earlier, right? If you specialize in the backend, you miss out on the majority of programming roles available. So you're going to harm your job search. I recommend becoming a full stack developer. Now, if you're like, hey, like I specifically want to work in backend, probably Java. I mean, Python is good too. Python and Java are going to be your top two languages. The thing about Python is that that is really useful for data analysis. So really, Python is what you should go for if you want to get into data science, machine learning, that sort of thing. Tuan, you're pretty at this programming stuff, man. I try to be. Thanks. Tripset, what do you recommend for architect or firmware engineering? Homie, those are totally different jobs. Like pick one. So information architect, you're going to want to learn about like cloud services, like solutions. I really don't recommend you start with that. That's like an advanced role. So nothing bugs me more than an architect that can't code. Have you ever worked with one of these architects? They want to tell you how to design your system and like they can't code. It's like, bro, you should have coded first and then become an architect. Don't try to be an architect if you don't know how to code. Why would you use Windows as a dev? Who is this person? Is this a troll? There are like hundreds of thousands of software engineers in the world that use Windows. By the way, I don't only use Windows. I just have Windows in the stream today. I use both. I have both machines at my house. The reason I'm on because I felt like sitting at this desk and like my desk setup. This is like my gaming computer and it's like it has a nice desk setup. So I didn't pick it because it's Windows. Bro, almost all corporate infrastructure, especially VMs, are all Windows. Oh, okay. I find Windows very counterproductive. Yeah, it's not like the best operating system for development. I agree with you. But like there's other things that go into what computer I might be on at a given day. Okay, I'm not sure I did this right. So I think I got distracted. So let me reset. I'm downloading what was inside of Unzipped. Bro, signed up for the premium plan. Thanks for answering questions. I appreciate it. I'm going to try to make that worth your while. So thanks for being here. Hey, here's a perk about the premium that maybe y'all didn't know. You get a shout out on the website, and you can influence the developer roadmap. Like you can tell me what features you want me to work on next. So you can let me know now, or DM me, or drop by the Discord after the stream and let me know. Thank you so much. But I forgot like where I opened it from, so I'm gonna basically reorient myself. Okay, so here's my empty unzipped folder. Here's my downloads folder. Here is the Windows v3 is what this file is called. Let me delete the older ones too. And delete all this older stuff. Cool. I'm deleting all that older stuff. So this is the latest one, Windows v3. Okay, I got distracted. That's on me, y'all. Also, on the checklist, the Discord link sends you to the search techniques. Bro, is that true, Ethan? Whoa. Thank you. Hold on. Let's go see that. I'm getting distracted again. ADD is real, homies. I'm on vacation today. I'm on vacation this week, actually. So, anyway, I may not be using the same meds that I would on a normal work day. You ever been to DEF CON? No, I usually swerve it. I'm near DC, though, so I have a bunch of friends who go out there. I used to work for DoD through a contractor indirectly, but they don't pay me enough, basically. Also, I'm not like into war and stuff. So, okay, the Discord is taking me to Dang, that stinks. I need to fix that ASAP. Okay, the trial by fire is the right one though, right? Nice, nice, nice. Okay. So this was Ethan? Ethan. 5 stars, homie. Like, I don't know. Like, connect, like, if there's anything I can do to pay you back for that, let me know, because that is a great catch. Thank you so much. So I'm going to fix it right now. So let's Control X, Control Z, close the tab, click here, Control Shift F, Control V, enter. The dude says, I'm going for my first time to DEF CON. Awesome. Are you on the East Coast? So here we can see file checklist.json. If it's hard for you to see, I'm really sorry about that. Like, I'm streaming from my phone on TikTok, but you can go to YouTube, link is in my bio, and see the whole screen. And you can see there's a bug right here. That URL should not be the same in these two places. So this would be an easy thing for y'all to fix if you wanted to do a pull request, but I'm just going to fix it now because it's like so easy. But that would be a flex if y'all want to submit a pull request and put it on your resume like you're an open source contributor. You fixed a bug in someone else's project. Okay, so the Discord, so this is what it should be. It should be this one. So you can get here, if you're trying to get on the Discord, like literally right now, you can go to my bio and you should see this, and this is the Discord. I'm gonna fix the website as soon as I can, but if you're trying to get on there right now, it's gonna be faster for you to just go to my bio. Does that make sense? Hopefully I communicated that well. Let me make sense. Oh, you know what? I can just, I can alter the database right now. Y'all want to do some SQL? S in the chat if you want some SQL. How long does it take to process the upgrade, my tier from standard to the next one? I have to do it by hand, so it's probably going to be tonight. For full stack engineering, you recommend JavaScript as a first language. The answer is yes. SQL battle. Okay, all right, let's do it. Okay, so please God help me not click the user table and expose user information on a stream. So here is Supabase. This is the database. This is the production database. We're about to fuck with the production database, so strap in. Let me calm myself. So we have these checklists. There are 3 checklists. And the one that has the problem is the programming job checklist. Why are you looking at prod on a stream? This is how we do. This is how we do. Okay. Because I'm an alpha, I can do that. Hold on, that sounded dumb. I don't mean I'm an alpha like I'm so cool. I mean the software is in its alpha stage, so it's unstable. Okay, just to be clear what I meant. Yeah. So checklist item. Here's the checklist item table. Let's go to the SQL editor. I'm going to open this in a new tab. And what we want to do, we want to find, so here's the easy thing I can do is it's one of these two. And I can just change the link URI cell. That would not be using SQL. So I'm going to do this the SQL way. Let's see, participating. Yeah, so this is, I think, the right one. The Latterly Discord. You see that? Okay, so I could just manually change it, but that's not the SQL way. So the SQL way, let's ask ChatGPT. As a database programmer, I would like to alter a row in a table, in a SQL table called, what is the table called? The table is called checklist item. And let's specify Postgres in a Postgres SQL table called the row has a column called link text with a value that exactly equals the laterally discord. Let's make sure that's a capital D. Yep, okay. It will be case sensitive. The row has a column called link text with a value that exactly equals the laterally discord. And I would like to update another column on that same row called link URI to have a value of provide the SQL. The value that we want to use is this one. Using ChatGPT is generally a bad idea. Why? This is coding nowadays. Sheesh, I'm in the wrong job market. Yeah. I think this is fine. I could specify the DB if I want to, but there's only one DB. Yeah, definitely important for me as the developer to peer review the output of GPT. But as long as I know what I'm doing and I'm just using it to speed me up, then there's nothing wrong with using it. So here's the SQL editor. We don't want to create a table. We want to write an update. New query, new blank query. Okay, so we're in Supabase. We click new blank query, Control V. And let's run it. So there's the run button over there. Boop. Booped it. Failed to run. Checklist item doesn't exist. Let's see. Do I need to specify the database? So db dot, is it public dot? Yeah, it's public dot checklist item. Let's try this now. Link text doesn't exist. Okay, public. So we'll call this C. Link text. It's called link text, right? It's called link text. Why does it think that it doesn't exist? Also, why is my update keyword white? I'm going to Control X, so that's on my clipboard. New AI query. Update a value on the public.checklist item table. You're running SQL queries across a prod database that you didn't write. What do you mean that I didn't write? Update public.checklist item set where condition. Okay. The where condition should be where the link text value is Discord. And I would like to, okay, let's just do that for now. One thing at a time. This looks wrong, right? Because now it's a select statement. Select all columns. Let's give it everything in one sentence. Maybe that's the issue. Update a value on the public checklist item table where the current link text value is, so that the link URI value becomes, and where's that Discord? Update set where, this looks good. Oh, is it literally because I didn't use the double quotes? All right, cool. So I copied that. Let's go be all done now. I'm checking one more time. This should be unique. I could do like a limit 1 or something if I wanted to be really defensive, but I think this is fine. Success, no rows returned. I created a PR because I was bored. You rock. Okay, so now let's go verify that it works. Checklist item. And there it is, update in prod. Hey, so if one of y'all want to go tap that link, Ethan, if you're still on there, can you tap and confirm? You skipped my question. Let me roll back and see it. By the way, which backend framework is your favorite? Let's see. I don't know. I don't know that I have a favorite. Sorry to let you down. I like Blitz. I like Blitz and I like Next.js. These are not full stack framework, or these are not backend frameworks. They're full stack frameworks. But this is my favorite. So I guess by virtue of being full stack, it's also backend, right? So I would say Blitz is my favorite. Let's go look at the pull request. Here we got the pull request. Update checklist.json. Oh no, where's the flop? Someone is attempting to deploy on my commit, needs to authorize it. Yeah, that's cool. Authorize it. Boop, boop, boop. Texas, represent, pull up. Okay, so, and this looks good. Yo, Control F, Control V. Nope, nope, nope. Just comparing the address, that's all I'm doing. Make sure there's no typo. It looks different though. Why it looks different though? I think they're probably equivalent. I think this is probably just gonna. But anyway, thank you so much for the pull request. That's awesome. We love to see it. Okay, so that was fun, but let me get back to actually doing the thing, right? So we have this Windows 3 zip. Here's the Windows 3 zip. We expanded it, and do I have? Okay, I never dropped it over here. So now I got pzip, Control A, click and drag. Good. We're closing this. I'm removing the zip. Bring up laterally. So here is the target code base. Here is the unzipped code base. Drag it over. Oops. Drag it over the better way. Replace the destination files. Great. I might have already done that. I don't know. One point eight K likes. Let's try to get to 2K. Pause for the Fuji Apple Pear Celsius sip. Oh, y'all, it's too dark. You can't really see that, can you? Hey, Celsius, if you're watching, hit a boy up. I'll plug you. Ethan, thanks for the follow. Cool. So now we have this, and this is going to be the final one I pull from GPT. It was fun to kind of mess with it. It's done a great job in my view. I think the code compiler has done a great job today. Okay. It's done a great job, but we need to actually get going here. I think we're like an hour in, and I was just messing around. Oh well. So we'll drop all of these. The one thing that Code Compiler has failed at is that it cannot abstract the line endings. And so I get this extraneous noise, which is super annoying. I have to click through all these files. Here's the generate sitemap. I'll stage that one. These others, I'm not seeing any diff. How about this main py file A? OpenAI, if you're using all of the code that I'm submitting for training data, you're welcome. Feel free to drop me a tweet and say thank you. And I'll literally just say you're welcome. Maz, what are you coding? We're adding a blog. Yo, how do you visually see what your app is doing? I could launch the dev server. I will do that after it's one step at a time, right? I don't want to launch the server right now and then be reverting files. So I'm going to launch the server after these are done. And the answer is that I run npm run dev. And that's documented in the README. Document yo stuff, homie. It is pretty annoying that I have to click these one by one. Honestly, this might be a case, like hindsight 2020, right? This might be a case where writing the blog out myself would have been faster. But that's okay, because half of this was seeing what the code compiler can do in my book. Okay, so all of these are noise. Shift click, right click, discard. We only got 37 more to go. We're on the road. Bro, I have to hop off, but thanks again, bro. You got it. Thanks for being here. What is this? Only uncomment if you need to customize the behavior. Wonder if I should use that sometime. None of these are being used. The slug is new. Okay, let's stage the slug. Hello world is new. Now we're getting to things that actually matter, right? The blog is new. Bam! We're staging it. We're staging it. Oh, I just got hit with a notification that I need to go get my kids here soon. We're making a blog feature. Quick reminder, y'all, you can go to YouTube. Oh, we're at 2.7K likes. That's awesome. We got like 900 from a few seconds ago. You can go to YouTube. The link is in my blog and see the full screen. Probably help you understand what's going on slightly better. But if you can see it well enough, cool. I'm literally just going file by file and making sure that there are 0 changes in each of these files. You know, it'd be cool. Someone should make a VS Code extension that literally just has, like, next to the M, in parentheses, the count of the line change. That would be nifty, right? And I don't think that would be too hard to make. And if someone did that, I wouldn't have to click through these. So there's a feature inspiration of the day. Okay, right click and discard it. So it looks like these are the only related changes. So now that we have these, now we can npm run dev. We'll end up launching the dev server. Here it is, localhost 3000. So how do we see what it looks like? We run localhost. It's going to take a second for it to boot up. It's the first boot. Still compiling there. In advance, I know there is an issue because this Oh, also, hold on. I need to run the npmi command. So there's a couple issues. So one issue is we can see this slug page is using remark, which isn't installed yet, to parse the front matter from the markdown files. That's fine. I don't need that comment though. So I need to run, you see how they have this red squiggle? That means the package is not installed. And ChatGPT told me that I would need to do this. I just haven't done it yet. Cool, so we're running that. When that completes, then we will npm run dev. Awesome. And the red marks have gone away, you see? So we're good. Or you could have your GitHub synchronized so you can see the changes. Yeah, GitHub is synchronized. Look, I have a GitHub action. The thing is I have to push code up to do that. So there's a user that was on here. And you can, here's the, so they submitted a pull request and you can see the preview environment right here. It's hooked up through Vercel with a GitHub action. So this is a stop prod, you see that? So yeah, Coswap, we have the GitHub synchronized. There's slightly different use cases though. Like it's like in theory you could just like never build it locally and just always use preview environments. In theory you could, but in practice I like to make sure it works before I push it up and wait for the build to deploy and stuff. There's the developer feedback loop is what we talk about. So if I push code and a remote server has to build it and then I use that one, it's slower to develop basically. It takes me more time to make sure that stuff works. Where here, like here, I'll push the letter X, Control S, and watch down here. 391 milliseconds, and the new app is ready for me to look at. So if you're making many changes, you will benefit in productivity from using a local host. Okay. Let's refresh this page. Oh, you're selling learn to code type stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's free to sign up. But I would appreciate it, yeah, if y'all want to pay, that would be great. Because this thing is costing me money currently. All right, cool. So here's localhost. You can see up at the top localhost. And what am I checking here? What I'd like to check is the blog. So there's a problem with what GPT made. It didn't add a menu link. So I need to add that. For now, I can go to the route and manually type blog. This 404s, so that's another problem. Let's see if I type hello world. So if I force the slug. So if I say blog/hello world, this is also not working. So this is problematic basically. When I run npm run dev to launch my dev server, I cannot access. I receive 404 at these two sites. Why is this happening to me? How do you use Laterally? Because I don't have money, so how do I use the free one since there is no button? What do you mean there is no button? You just go to the standard checklist, right? Are you able to see this? And you can click that. Are you able to see this? What is this live about? Are you building this site live? When do you usually go live? Yep, I'm building latterly.io. We're working on it live. And I don't have a set schedule. I go live whenever I have free time. So usually like after 5 p.m. Eastern time. But, it could be any time. Will this turn into a NPC stream? I don't know what you mean by NPC stream, but I do have a... oh, okay, hold on. You're joking, right? Like the ice cream gang thing? I'm not planning on doing that. But I do have a playlist on YouTube called Building Laterally. There it is. And so you can see all of the streams. So this will turn into a saved stream, even though it won't turn into an NPC stream. So this is part 15 that we're currently on. And Next.js routing is based on the file system. Make sure blog and hello. Yeah, okay. Could just be in the wrong place. That's true. Nope, they are where they should be. So, blogs with an S. It's blogs with an S. It's because this is great. Kudos. Thank you so much, Duke. Okay, so let me go to blogs with an S. Although I don't want to do that. I want to remove the S. Invalid link with an A child. This is good. This is a good error. Because this is trivial to fix. This error is resulting from the knowledge cutoff. So Next.js links, the link API changed, and now we 404. Now I can RM the S. We see the error again. The link API changed after the ChatGPT knowledge cutoff. So I've run into this a bunch of times, so it's pretty easy to fix. Basically, this anchor shouldn't be here. That's basically the whole issue. Cool. Come back here. Got to rebuild. It might take a second. Skerber, thanks for the follow. It's the Geo. What up, what up? No such file. Source pages blogs. That's correct. There should not be an S. Let's drop the S. Recompiled, look at that. Change. So this is why we don't want to ship it all the way to staging. And bam, here we go. This is like not great. Okay, this is literally a site index. It's just dumping the current directory. Where does it keep getting this blogs thing from, though? Within this TSX, slug TSX. Okay, makes sense. Slug does not exist on. Here's one where GPT might be able to help us. Is this Next.js? Yes, it is. All right, cool. So basically do a null check on it. That makes sense. Um, bummer. Looks like the Remark API might have changed. I'm not sure how to fix that one. Here we'll replace the whole get static props. I'm going to drop the comment. I don't want this. Yeah. Let's see if it can fix this. But I'll go over here and eagerly check. Need to remove that S again. Ooh, not a function. Yeah, so Remark is going to block us now. What do you think about Rails? I think Rails is mid. I have to use it at work sometimes. Blitz is better than Rails, yo. Blitz is like what Rails wants to be. Like if you like Rails and if you like TypeScript, you should immediately start using Blitz. It's like the better Rails for TypeScript. How fast can you type? I don't know. Probably pretty slow. RCN, thanks for the likes. Almost 3K. We love to see it. Hey, if you go to YouTube, link is in my bio, you'll be able to see the full screen. John, thanks for the follow. TypeScript error arises when trying to use Remark, which is an ecosystem of plugins. Instead of this, you can try this, okay? Did that fix the issue? Does not seem to have fixed it. Or you might need to do the interop. Oh, okay. I don't know that I ever installed types. So let me undo. I'm going to undo that, kill the server. And this will be the final thing we try because I'm hitting a time box. So if the error persists, no big deal. I'll just fix it later after the stream. I'm going to trash the terminal because it's stuck. Welcome to Windows. Opening up a fresh terminal. Don't just use ChatGPT. I mean, I'm not just using ChatGPT. Are you, like, what do you mean? I'm not ChatGPT. Where do you recommend to learn JavaScript? A reputable coding bootcamp is my my main place that I would recommend. But the Coursera Professional Certificate for Front-End Developer, this is really pretty good. Learn .NET. It's going to take some persuading on that one. Ooh, is there not types for Remark? Yo, I think this was a hallucination. Dang, I think ChatGPT hallucinated. Let's check Google. Remark npm types. Package is fully typed. There are no extra exported types. So it's fully typed already. If I control click on Remark, I'm in a DTS file. So the type is here. Okay. So I think the Remark API changed. So let's see if I can quickly figure out the new way to do it. But again, I'm hitting a time box. So they're awaiting unified. This is pretty new. Also, I think I'm using Remark in another repo. Oh, great, it's minified. That's going to be gross. I think there's a Next.js blog article. Lee Rob, shout out to Lee Rob. If this was out of date, I think he'd let us know. Cool, so here we have the get static props, and it's using Next MDX remote. I don't know if I want that. Superset of Markdown called MDX. You can use remark HTML. Blog starter, okay. Okay, it seems kind of like he's just pointing us over here. So here is a blog starter. We go into pages, we see what, index? Is there something about remark here? I don't see anything about remark here. Package JSON is remark here. Remark is here. Nope. What about in the app file? Nope. App props file. Okay. Get all posts. Here we go. Get all posts from lib API. So we go up lib over to API. And now I can see the gray matter I was looking for. Get post by slug. This is good. This is a slightly different approach than what GPT-4 took, but this looks really good. So probably I should just do this, right? Get post slugs, read syncter, read dir sync. Okay, so we get the files, which could be called posts. Remove the MD. Get static paths. Looks like they're just paths. Get post by slug. It's MD. And here it pulls out the data content. I think this is the difference. So get post by slug pulls out data content from matter file contents. Matter from gray matter. Am I using gray matter? Here's matter from gray matter. How's it being used? Matter from gray matter. It's used the same way. It's used the same way. So then what's going on here? Because in theory, this is already looking good. Return items. So get post by slug is returning that data. Get post by slug. And it's basically returning that data to get all posts. And it literally returns props. So it could just be a data formatting issue. It doesn't seem like the data is actually any different. So all posts ends up over here, and then here is the format. Okay. Like, what do I need remark for at all? I'm not sure. Hero post, is it over there? I'm just not seeing remark used like at all. Do I need remark at all, or can I just use? Can parse the front matter, leaves the rest of the markdown un. I'm not getting it. If you only need to parse the front matter and don't need to convert the markdown to HTML, you can certainly do that. Content will be a string with the markdown content of the post. Yeah, that's not what I want. I do want HTML. Okay, so it was right the first time. The problem is that calling it this way is an issue. So the next example did not really help me. Bummer, Lee Rob. Here's remark to React. Maybe that's what I need. It's used the same way over there. Okay, so maybe it is the interop thing. Keyword search L. Keyword search L. Let me make sure. That would be dumb, wouldn't it? Okay, I have remark. Is this React? Yep, we're using React. Can I use Next.js with Spring Boot as a backend? You can. I'm not sure that it's a good idea, but you can, yes. All right, y'all, that's gonna wrap it. I have to go get my kids from daycare. Thanks for being here. This will be fixed this evening, and there will be a blog, but we didn't get to it on stream. Make sure to follow the page and keep an eye on latterly.io. Here's the website. You can be one of the first people to use the blog when it's ready. See you later.